Hey everybody, and welcome back to another video. In this video, I want to discuss some of the many new trios that we are seeing develop for the OG season, and how some of these trios might place. With the trio FNCSs only a couple months away, we might actually start looking for some of these players to stick with their trios. Of course, many of these trios, and I assume actually most of these trios, will not stick together, but I still want to give an overview of what could happen in this OG season and what might come in the future. Of course, one of the first things we have to talk about is Peterbot's potential new trio, that being Peterbot, Pollo, and Boltz. Obviously, you guys remember Peterbot did actually drop Pollo back in October when trios were first announced, but it seems that he has now come to regret that decision. I hate to say this, but I did call all of this happening in my first ever video, which you can go check out on my channel. So I was expecting all of this to happen eventually, but really not under these circumstances. Peterbot is replacing Rapid, which on paper looks like a smart decision because of how great of a fighter Peterbot is. You know, he won 3 FNCSs in a row, including the Global Championship, so everybody wants Peterbot on their team. But Pollo, Rapid, and Boltz, which was the old trio, were going absolutely crazy in the Trio Cash Cups. They were dominating, so it is somewhat surprising for me that they would drop Rapid, but also it's not super surprising. Another issue this trio could run into is the fact that Rapid was their hard IGL. And although Peterbot says he will be IGLing this trio, I do not consider Peterbot one of the greatest IGLs in the region. I know people say that he is a great IGL, and he wouldn't have won 4 FNCSs without being at least a decent IGL, but I think most people would agree with me that Peterbot did not win those FNCSs because of his IGLing skills. He won because of his great fragging and fighting abilities. Although we haven't seen a post yet from Rapid regarding a potential new trio, he did recently post on Twitter about looking for a trio, and I'm sure you find a really good trio soon. Although, you do have to consider the amount of IGLs that are currently in the market. Kanata and Acorn were talking about this yesterday, about just the total number of IGLs on the market compared to the top-level fraggers. I mean, I can name 10 IGLs off the top of my head who are currently looking for a trio, and that are very elite, so Rapid may have some trouble finding a trio, but after his recent domination in the Cash Cups, I'm sure he'll find one. Another recent trio that we have seen come out, we have Kanata, Acorn, and Miro. If you know anything about these players in this trio, you have, at least in my opinion, 2 of the top 3 IGLs on the region in one team, which on paper looks like it sounds great. I mean, this team will clearly have some of the best rotates and will be pretty smart, but they will have some trouble fighting, I assume. Miro is a pretty solid fighter, but he's not one of the best in the region. I'm not sure how this trio will figure it out. I believe Kanata is a pretty elite support player and fighter, so they could succeed in that right with Acorn being the high RGL and Miro being the fragger, but Miro's not the greatest fighter that he was once before, and I don't think Kanata could be the full-on fragger of this trio. But these are some of my favorite players, so I'm really hoping they can figure this out and succeed. They're also landing, in my opinion, one of the best drop spots for this new season, that being Steamy Stacks. Getting this drop spot uncontested would be amazing for them, and I think they could do really well with it. When we saw Peterbot leave his old trio, he obviously left Bugha and Cold without teammates, and I'm not sure how great of friends these 2 players were, as it does not look like they will be sticking together in a duo and look for another player and instead go their separate ways. Although this is not confirmed and this evidence isn't super great, Cold recently has been playing pro scrims with Agers and Rituals. If you guys remember, Agers and Rituals were playing a lot of duo Cash Cups back in Chapter 5, Season 4. So they clearly are sticking together, and with the addition of Cold, this team could be very good. Obviously, Cold being one of, if not the best fighter on the region right now, Rituals being extremely underrated IGL, and Agers, once again, extremely underrated fragger. So this could be a solid potential team. Bugha has posted that he will be playing with Re and Aviv, which looks like a solid team, but I'm really not confident in their ability to stick together. Bugha and Aviv are pretty good friends and have been played together, but I'm not sure how adding Re to this trio will turn out. Also, something that might not help them is that they will be landing the dog pound, supposedly. Obviously, if Peter's landing there, I don't know if they're going to stay, which probably will mean they will be contested off spawn. But this trio could stick together. They might perform well, but I'm not super confident. Although Clix has not actually confirmed his new trio for the OG season, he has been scrimming, and if you guys remember, he played most of the last trio Cash Cups in Chapter 5, Season 4 with Muzz and Rise, which is a team I'm personally excited for. Clix has always had a lot of trouble finding his teammates because of the amount he streams. Streaming all the tournaments is not something a lot of pro players like because stream sniping, a lot of issues that involve streaming, So it's always been hard for him to find teammates, but Muzz and Rise both stream most of the tournaments, so this trio could really work out well for them, and I'm happy for Clix being able to find a good trio here. In terms of some other new trios that you guys might know as well, Paper and Victor V have now confirmed themselves to be playing with Noxy. Noxy is a pretty underrated pro and has about $30,000 earned. I'm sure you guys all know who Paper is. And Victor V is a 14-year-old absolute prodigy at this game. They qualified globals together, that being Paper and Victor V. So I'm pretty excited for this trio. Yamso has not confirmed a new trio yet, but at this time he is scrimming with Batman, Bugha, and Mason. I don't think this trio will stick together at all because I'm pretty sure Mason and Cooper are going to be playing with each other and play with a solo. But you know, it's good to look at which players are scrimming, and Yamso and Batman Bugha might be able to stick together, as that looks like a pretty solid duo to me. Epic Whale, as of now, is also being confirmed to be playing with Sphinx and Dukes for the rest of the OG season, and to me they are a pretty solid sleeper pick. People sleep on Duke so much, people say he's washed, but I think he's actually a really solid fighter, and I'm looking forward to this trio performing better than people think. Of course, you should always take some of these updates with a grain of salt. The trio FNCSs won't be for a couple months from now, so I would be really surprised if most of these trios stick, but you never know. I just also wanted to update what's kind of been happening with my channel and why I haven't posted in like 3 weeks or a month. I just really haven't any motivation to play. There wasn't a lot of controversy or a lot of interesting stuff to cover after globals happened. All of the hype kind of died down, and it seemed like most of the pros were just trolling and not really trying super hard. But now that I think players will start to be trying really hard and there will be a lot of content in this OG season, I am very excited to make some more content, and I have some ideas on the back burner that I can use. Of course, I'm always looking for recommendations on what I should cover. I'm really interested in learning what you guys want me to cover. With that being said, I hope you guys have a great night or morning or whatever you're watching this, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.